Hello neighbor, this is Curt at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pewag wide base tire chain on our 2024 Jeep Wagoneer L. Now for the 2024 Wagoneer L, we have the tire chains mounted on the rear axle as recommended by the manufacturer. You always want to check your owner's manual of your vehicle to make sure whether they go on the front, the rear, all four tires, or whether the manufacturer doesn't recommend tire chains at all. So we've got these on 275 over 55 R20 tires on this particular vehicle. These chains are made out of a nickel manganese alloy, which is going to make them very durable and a bit extra corrosion resistant than other standard chains. It's a ladder style, which is going to improve traction, so great for starting, stopping, and reversing your car in deep snow, ice, muddy conditions, any of those that may apply. The square links that we have on here with that square edge are going to give you a little bit of extra bite for icy conditions, but these particular chains also added a groove to the link just to give you a little bit extra traction in those conditions. Now these tire chains come by the pair, and they'll come in a bag just like this, and it's a nice sturdy bag. However, I usually recommend keeping these in some kind of a plastic tote just to keep them from getting too tangled up, help them dry out a little bit easier, so on and so forth. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how we got these on here. Now the first thing you always want to do is lay out your chains for inspection. You may notice that I'm wearing gloves through this process even though we're indoors. In most cases in the real world, when you're putting these on, you will be in cold, wet, snowy conditions. However, even in this case, I always recommend using gloves when handling tire chains because there are a lot of sharp edges to them to help bite into that ice. We just want you to avoid making any kind of injury for yourself. So as I'm laying it out, what I am looking for is to make sure that there are no kinks in the chain anywhere, make sure there's no damage that wasn't noticed the last time we used them. And I also want to make sure I lay them out specifically in this manner because we want to make sure that these hooks, the ends of these, are facing away from the rubber of your tire. It is a little bit of a sharp edge and we don't want you to puncture the sidewalls while rolling through some rough terrain. The other thing I want to make sure of is that this latch mechanism is also going to be facing the outside. So what we'll do is go ahead and lift these up and we're going to drape them over our tire as such. And we're going to be doing this in a way that we want to kind of be even on either side. And also in a way that the chain isn't coming over the wheel and being in danger of causing any damage to the wheel itself. So I think we've got it in a pretty good position right now with everything spaced out accordingly. Let's go ahead and get under the vehicle and see how we'll make our adjustments and attachments in the back. So what we'll find in the back is an open hook end and then a few loose links that you can use any of which to make any adjustments. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm kind of aiming for the same symmetry around the wheel that I had in the front. So in the case of these tires, it's going on about the fourth link there. Now we'll go back out from under the car and we'll see what kind of adjustments we can make from the front. So we mentioned earlier when we were inspecting our chains, this lever here. What this is going to do is help with our adjusting and tensioning when we get the front hooked up and get these chains on completely. So what I'm going to do is take one of these open links at the end here, feed right through that, get it all the way to the end here if possible, and then we're going to twist that over and into this loop. Now we've still got a little bit of extra play in this. Usually at this point what you want to do is roll the vehicle forward and back a few feet just to make sure that anything that wasn't completely tensioned down is seen and adjustable from that point. So once you've got all that taken care of, you'll be able to make adjustments either from the front or the back, whichever makes the most sense as you're moving it around. But we also want to kind of get these looser links on the bottom toward the top of the tire to help us with adjustments there. Now one more thing that we always recommend here at eTrailer is going to be a rubber tensioner. This is going to kind of guarantee that all the extra slack that might be in there if you're kind of between those adjustment points gets taken care of. These are sold on eTrailer separately. They do not come with the chains themselves. So, make sure that you take a look at these as well if you're deciding to go with any tire chains at all. So the way that these are going to go on is I'm going to use these open hooks in the links here to basically pull all of this toward the center of the wheel. When you're putting these on, similar to these hooks here, we want to make sure the hook is facing outward so any of the sharp edges aren't going into your sidewalls. And we're going to do this by going through the top there just like that, coming down here to the bottom and hooking through there. And we're essentially going to be going across back and forth with them. Now that's going to keep everything pulled toward the center of the tire, keep the chain snug around it, and have a much safer travel time on the road. So there's a look at the Pewag wide base square link tire chain set for the 2024 Wagoneer L. I really think this is a fantastic choice for anybody that is worried about any deep snow, mud conditions. And with the grooves in these links, any underlying ice in that deep snow isn't going to be a problem for you either. This is a fantastic chain to get. It's very easy to adjust, and you don't have any extra moving parts like some of the systems with the cam systems. It sometimes can get untwisted as you're making turns on the road. So all in all, I would say that this is a great choice for a Jeep Wagoneer L in those conditions. If you have got these tire chains or had any experience with other tire chains from us before, please let us know. We love to know what your experience is, whether good or bad. Just let us know what you think of the tire chains and anything we could do to help. We love sharing those kind of stories with other neighbors and help them making these decisions as well. So this is Curt at eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.